I think Kyle and Mike are different in a significant way. We talked about it. I think Kyle and John Gruden are almost identical. I think they're very similar in very important ways, but I'm not going to say it yet. Vish, you've seen John Gruden. You know Kyle Shanahan. Do you think they're similar?
First of all, I just want to preface this by saying I really want the Raiders to fire John Gruden because I really miss him in the Monday night booth. I really do. It's not that he ever said anything that was profound or he was adding anything to the game, because I think for like the first 4 or 5 years he did it, he refused to criticize anybody. It's just he's got this way and voice about him, like, did you see it? And he was like, oh, Aldon. And the way he used to love Aldon Smith, 2011, 11-year-old me used to love when he used to say Aldon Smith is the best pass rusher that's walked through those doors since Charles Haley came from James Madison. So I miss him saying those things, and I miss John Gruden in the Monday night booth. The other thing is Kyle Shanahan obviously learned a lot from John Gruden. He was his quality control for 2 years. And so there is some similarities between their offenses. And there's clearly like Kyle Shanahan respects Gruden, and Gruden is really well respected around the league in similar ways that Kyle Shanahan is. Now, I think Kyle Shanahan, by every account, is a way better coach than John Gruden.
Agree.
Way
Gruden doesn't
better.
get the ball down the field. Kyle does. Gruden is more of a control freak than Kyle. Kyle's like, hey, man, air it out. Let's go.
Way smarter.
Gruden's like,
way more creative.
More than 5 yards down the field.
Smarter, more
thinking. Yeah.
Smarter, more creative, better leader, better control of the entire perspective, just a better coach in general. I mean, there were questions with the Raiders. I think there was an article in The Athletic that came out about how the Raiders had an accountability problem and a leadership problem. We're yet to get that bombshell from the 49ers. So I'm going to say Kyle Shanahan's a way better leader
also
than John Gruden.
In a defense. Kyle has put together a defense.
Right. I do think the one thing that's kind of similar between them, and it's kind of unfair to put it on Kyle, I will say that, but it has been similar thus far. So you have to say it is their relationships with quarterbacks and this idea that they're always flirting with the next quarterback, even though they got a guy
always drawn to the backups, dude.
Right.
Always drawn to the backups.
And I do think there's something there with that. You're definitely going to elaborate on it more. Yes. So I'm going to leave that to you because that's where you are. But I do want to say something about John Gruden, just because it has little relation with this topic. He just came up, and I just wanted to reiterate it because I'm actually stunned with the perception on this. Like, I get it. Derek Carr is a very corny personality, and a lot of people don't like Derek Carr for those reasons. But to me, the fact it's bewildering for any other reason. Obviously, John Gruden's got that 10-year contract, but the fact that people let John Gruden get away with flirting with other quarterbacks and like Marcus Mariota and all of that, when Derek Carr is a better quarterback than John Gruden is a coach, is just sad to me. If we were going to rank top 15 coaches in the NFL, we would not say John Gruden. If we rank the top 15 quarterbacks in the NFL, guess what? Go watch Derek Carr from this year. Derek Carr absolutely makes that list. And so that's pathetic to me. That's sad. And to me, the relationship should be more, does Derek Carr need a new coach? And does John Gruden need to make me happy by returning to the Monday night booth?
Okay, let me make the case for why they're similar. To me, first of all, there's some coaches work with positive reinforcement, some do negative reinforcement. They are negative reinforcement guys. They will get on you if you make a mistake, and they're just, they're being blunt, they're keeping it real. That's just how they are. Players like their honesty, yada, yada, yada. They're not. Salah's the opposite. He doesn't yell. It's all positive. It's all good. If someone messes up, Salah's like, how did I let you down? You know what I mean? It's like, what have I done wrong for my son? That kind of stuff. So that's fine. That's their style. I think it works with vets. Grizzled guys like Matt Ryan, Rich Gannon. Like, Rich Gannon is not going to take it personally. It's not going to hurt his feelings. You know what I'm saying? He'll rise to the challenge. A dude like Derek Carr might be like, whoa, what is this coming from? Why do you like Nathan Peterman more than me? I'm better. That's one thing. The other thing is, and I think this is something deep down in both of their personalities, and I've seen it with Kyle. They really loved playing football. They wanted to be players. Kyle wanted to be a wide receiver. Gruden, I think, wanted to be a quarterback. And you look at them. I mean, they're not athletes. Gruden's like 4'5", 6'. Kyle Shanahan's tall, but it wasn't going to happen for Kyle. And they know it. They know they had those limitations. And I think they look at someone like some of these first round picks, some of these guys who are super, super gifted that the game comes easy to. And they're like, man, you don't care about the game like I do. If I had the talent you had, I would have been great. You're wasting it. I resent the fact that you don't, that kind of stuff. I think there's a little bit with maybe more than a little bit of that with both of them. That's it.
Yeah.
Those are the similarities. Those are the two things.
And the thing with Kyle, like, you can't say he didn't want to be a player because he's said he was obsessed with the idea. He used to copy Ed McCaffrey and do everything he did. And he was really obsessive about being a player. And if you see him even today, you've reported and other people have reported that he still throws passes in practice. He tries to get involved. So you can tell that it meant
and then
a lot
watches
to him.
the film of himself after, which is the best detail of. It's the cherry on top.
Which means that he's still looking on how to improve his own game. So you can tell that he's obsessed with it from that standpoint. So, yeah.
And I think when he looks at a guy like Nick Mullins, he identifies. It's like, yep, that's little me. You know, not quite gifted enough, but just so driven and obsessed and passionate. And then you look at $85 million Jimmy, it's like, well, I can't relate to that. I never had the arm, the looks, the money. But does he care about it like Nick does? And if he doesn't, I have a problem with that. And maybe Kyle's right for that. But that's just how I think this is how those two guys are. And that's when Gruden gives Carr a hard time, that's the basis of it. Because like you said, Carr is better at his job than Gruden is at his. Period.
Yeah.
Kyle's better at his job than Jimmy is at his. So that's I get where Kyle's coming from, but Gruden, no.
Yeah, and I guess Beathard. I know nothing about CJ Beathard, and he comes across as a very, very lax guy. But he must be of the same. He must be a grinder too, I guess.
The CJ Beathard conundrum will never make sense to me. I would love a 30 for 30 on the CJ Beathard experience. Why that happened? I'd like this. Sure, it's a great story. Anyway, those are all the topics we had. It's been an hour and a half. It's definitely dinner time for Vish, but we just got one more question, so we'll take a couple more. Don't you eat around 6? I usually eat around 6. When do you eat? Sebastian says Kyle is insecure. Aren't we all?